Well, hello there. And today I have come into the most amazing garage I've come into for a very long time because I'm with the lovely Karen. And Karen is my mum's hairdresser. But Karen has these sneaky little secrets because Karen is the most creative person I have ever met. She makes her own clothes. She's become a born again model in her older age. I've just looked around her house, which, trust me, is a next Pinterest project. So, Karen, could you just say hi to everybody and
Hello.
tell them about Fridays in the
Oh,
hairdressers?
Fridays in the salon is a bit like, well, I don't know, Jeremy Kyle, Loose Women, a community centre,
Yeah,
lots of other stuff going on, lots of elderly ladies coming in and younger ones, lots of fun,
yeah.
and we do good hair, but we
It is a
also,
social club
it
with
is,
coffee
it
and
is.
There,
hairdos.
it's Nikki Massey from Margot and Maya. I have a quick question for you today, and that is when you come home from work every evening, do you love the room that you walk into? Do you love your fluffy cushions? Do you love your settee? Do you love your curtains, blinds, soft finishes, anything? Do you love it? Or do you find that you're scuttling to the hills? Now, if you're that person that's scuttling to the hills, I can help you. So I can help you in many ways, but what I'm asking you to do for me today is, if you're that person, send me a picture in and let's see how we can turn your room around so you're not scuttling to the hills and you're actually loving the space that you're walking into every night. So send it to me. Don't forget now, do it now. Let's make things different for you today. So that's Nikki Massey, Margot and Maya. Let's help.
Hello, and today's interview is with a lovely lady called Liz Gordon. Now, none of you know this, or you might, but I knew Liz when I was at primary school. We were best friends, and her mum and dad ran the greengrocers round the corner, so I was always in and out of there. And it has been a joy to meet up with Liz again as time has gone on, because we all lose people, don't we, over time. So I'm going to talk to Liz today about her and her life, where she's come from, what she's doing and what she's going to do. So Liz, my darling, tell us exactly what you do today before we start looking at the past and the future.
Hi, Bev. Well, yes, I've come a long way since that greengrocer shop in Bennett Road. Indeed, not really very many aspirations when I was there. Just we went to the same primary school, and I think we were in the same senior school as well. But it's lovely how our
Yeah.
satellites have kind of orbited around each other throughout the years. So what I currently do, I run my own PR and marketing business called Brilliant Fish PR and Marketing. Um, and I'm a social enterprise. So I work primarily with individual businesses and people who are just starting up.
Okay.
And the reason behind the whole reason I set up Brilliant Fish, and I'll talk a bit about my background
Yeah.
a little bit later on, but the reason I set it up was because I had this vision, if you like, that I wanted to work with charities, not-for-profits,
Yeah, yeah.
and other social enterprises to provide an excellent marketing service, but for a reduced
Well,
cost.
hello, and we are recording today with the lovely Laura Rookhard. I never know how to pronounce it.
Yard.
Rookyard. You see, I get it all wrong. And we are at the end of her very, very first face-to-face network meeting for UK Business Network. And I want to ask you the first question, Laura. How do you feel after the first one? How did it go?
I feel just really exhilarated.
Hey.
That, I do, and you know my story, Bev, and I just feel that I've been able to connect and meet some lovely, lovely people, and just finally stand up in front of everyone and tell our story and see if that resonates with other people and try to get them to take us as we are.
Why did I think of this name?
I don't know.
Basically, so I'm Michelle Bartlett from, it's called Live, Laugh, Love Ladies Club. And I launched this company about 2.5 years ago. And most people have heard of the expression live, love, love, or live, love, laugh, which is where they get it all wrong.
And if you haven't, go get the sticker for your bedroom wall.
Exactly, yes. The right sticker. The right sticker. And look at it.
Yeah. Very clever marketing, don't you think, on Michelle's part? Use the name that we've got plastered all over our bedroom wall.
And anybody that sees live, laugh, love, they think of us now. Which
do.
is really clever. But I didn't think, honestly, I didn't think about that 2.5 years ago. These are things, everything evolves. So I think sometimes the best business in the world is when you do it absolutely from the heart. You do it for you, and you do it because it's about you and your passion. And that's really where it all started from. So I probably the best way of putting it is midlife crisis, got to a crossroads.
Because we're going to have to edit around because I've got to decline that. I should have turned that off. I didn't even know FaceTime worked. So a slight pause, and then we'll go back into the where it started from. Then I can edit the 2 bits.
Oh, okay. So you're going to start from scratch again.
No. If you just start now with how you. Yeah, your bit around live, love.
Live, love, love. Yeah. Shall I say who I am again?
Yes, I would. Yeah, make it easy. I might even leave it in as the blooper. See, this is what happens, people, when we try to do things right. Actually, I think I'll leave this bit in. We're never perfect, and why not? So I'm sorry for that introduction, Michelle. Back to you.
And now mine's keeping beeping off. This is what we do. I'm going to turn the volume down. Oh no, can I? Right. We're there.
Fiona, first things first, tell us about you and your business.
Okay, well, I'll try and make this quite as quick as I can, but it's a little bit of a long-winded story.
Oh, we love stories.
Okay, right. Well, this is a bit of a long-winded story. So basically, I've been working with self-development, therapies, all sorts of different things for the last 25 years, actually. And the reason I got into it is because I had a car accident and had whiplash twice in one accident. Ooh. And then 3 months later, I had whiplash again. Hence, it started me off on a new journey because I was advised by a very good friend of mine to go to a kinesiologist. Because the doctors were... Kinesiologist. A lot of kinesiologist, amazing. A lot of people, the doctors were telling me, I'd have problems the rest of my life and my neck would always be an issue. And
we love our doctors.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, cut a long story short, she fixed my neck. And to this day, I have absolutely no issues with my neck. So I started training and I qualified as a kinesiologist and did that for a while. And then I carried on and then I did reflexology, which I did for about... 15 years maybe, but my hands now are not good, but had amazing, it's the most incredible therapy in all sorts of ways, not just in a physical sense. People think it's just physical.
Yeah.
It hits it up here, which is where it needs to come from. I used to combine an awful lot of that. I did a lot of work with flower essences. I did that. Continued my training in all sorts of things. It started off as a passion, started off as a hobby. And then it's sort of, because I was actually working full time at this stage and I was doing all this training with my job, which was perfect, loved it. And then it started sort of developing into a business. And then my husband at the time in 2003, we left to go to Hong Kong to live there with my young boys who were at the time 3 and 5.
Yeah.
Lived there for about 3.5 years. At that time, I did lots more courses. I got very involved in a lot of different healing tools and methods.
Yeah.
I worked there in a doctor's office with my kinesiology, with reflexology, seeing different clients.
Okay. So good morning, Bev, and thanks very much for giving me this opportunity for your amazing platform here in the webinar that you're doing. It's wonderful. So I am at the moment very much involved in running business networking events for women. And that's developed really, as it often does when you run your own business. So I've been going with Successful Women is my business. And for 3 years now, we've been running events, workshops, training, everything we can do really to support women in their businesses or those that work in organisations to be the best that they can be.
Brilliant. Jill, I go to many of Jill's workshops and networks and things, but Jill, you haven't always been in business, have you?
No, that's true.
You had a previous career,
yes,
which may surprise you all. So Jill, what did you do before you went to business?
I did lots of things. I worked in a shop, I worked in the civil service, but I guess you're talking about the 30 years that I spent in the police force.
Well, good afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to today's podcast where I talk to another amazing businesswoman, the lovely Barbara Cox, who is full of energy, and what she doesn't know about food and nutrition probably isn't worth knowing. So welcome, Barbara. How are you?
Oh, I'm really well. Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
Excellent. So what we want you to do is tell us all about you and your business.
Oh, wow. Okay. Where do you want me to start? Right from the beginning?
Don't have to go right to the beginning. Let's just tell our viewers sort of what you're doing at the moment, because there'll be another question peering into her past later.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, well, I'll kind of back up a little bit, which, so my background is nutrition, and I ran a national healthy meal delivery company for 12 years, and I recently sold that in March 2015. Yeah. And so now I'm consulting and in angel investing in other businesses, all to do with food and nutrition, and my passion, which is educating people about how to eat healthy and fuel for success.
Which always makes me feel guilty, people, because I'm not good at that.
Getting better. You're getting better. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now.
Excellent. And I know because the lady who does my Reiki, who you all know I talk about a lot, got me into what Barbara is doing at the moment, and it works.
Fantastic.
It works.
Great.
What we need to do, why did you then begin working for yourself? What made you go into a self-employed place?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually. I think I've always been really motivated to work for myself, and I love working for other people and with other teams, but I think I'm kind of a natural leader within that as well, and so maybe that kind of has something to do with it.
Sort of a maverick, I suspect.
Yeah. So. Do you know what? You've kind of stumped me there, because I'm not really sure why. I think it kind of really naturally happened, and I think my ideas are kind of so way out there that when I were to talk to other bosses about my ideas, that maybe I came up against some not friction, but oh well, that idea is great, Barbara, but it's not going to work.
Well, welcome back, and here is another amazing story from another very, very inspirational woman that I had come across, and I'm so pleased I did. And this is Elizabeth Twohig. I have pronounced your surname right, haven't I?
You have, Bev. Yes.
I do worry about things like that. So Elizabeth is going to give us her shining story and let us know all about her. So Elizabeth, just let us know, what have you been up to? Who are you? What do you do? How do you shine?
Right, my story is grounded in education. Education.
So behave yourselves.
No, so I'm now out of education in a way. But from school, I went into teachers training, and then straight back into school as a teacher, and then a head teacher. So it was 30 years in the classroom, one way or another. And then 4 years ago, so I thought I was ready for a change. I couldn't see myself spending sort of like the last 15 years of my working life
running around, children.
And realising that actually life had moved on, and I was very envious of my young staff who were going off for these gap years and touring the world. And I'd been fortunate, I did do a teaching exchange and lived in Australia for a year.
Lovely.
Yes. And I thought, no, I think it's time to sort of break out a little bit. But I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do.
I'm going to have to ask this, what does a head teacher break out into?